Hi friends! Today I am going to read you a story, and the title of the story is Mrs. McNosh Hangs Up Her Wash. And this story is written by Sarah Weeks. She is the author. She wrote all the words, and it's illustrated by Nadine Bernard Westcott. She drew all of the pictures. And I'm reading this today with permission from Scholastic. All right, let's look at the cover. Mrs. McNosh hangs up her wash. Wait a second. Did you hear something? You did? I did too. Did you say rhyming words? Yeah, at McNosh wash. Mrs. McNosh hangs up her wash. I heard those rhyming words, and you know what? I think there are going to be more rhyming words in this story. Can you keep some rhyming listening ears on? Put those on. All right, what else do you think? So we might hear some rhyming words, but what do you think this story might be about? I'm looking at the picture on the cover of this book, and pictures give us clues as to what is happening on a page or what is happening in a story, or it gives us clues so we can guess what might happen. What might this book be about? Well, the title tells us that there's a character named Mrs. McNosh, right? And I'm going to guess that's Mrs. McNosh. And it says she hangs up her wash. I see some pants and maybe some towels, some socks. Do you think her wash is her laundry? That's my guess. Now, I do laundry in my laundry machine, and I put it in the dryer to dry when it's finished. But sometimes, when I was little, sometimes my mom would wash laundry, and then she would hang it up outside on these lines with clothespins, and they would dry outside in the fresh, warm air. Have you ever done that at your house? Have you ever seen that? I'm thinking Mrs. McNosh is hanging up her laundry to dry. Sometimes the back of the book gives us a clue too, remember? Oh, look, she's washing. Oh, that's a newspaper. That's not laundry. Let's read to see what it says. Each Monday morning, Mrs. McNosh hangs up her wash. The mail, a dog with his bone, a kite. What will she hang up next? Oh my goodness. I am now getting the feeling that this might be a silly book. Let's read and find out. Mrs. McNosh hangs up her wash. There she is, carrying a basket of laundry. Mrs. McNosh hangs up her wash, by Sarah Weeks. Pictures by Nadine Bernard Westcott. That's the title page. Sometimes they give you a page inside that tells you the title, the name of the book, and another little picture, and then the author and illustrator's names again. I like to look at the pictures before I start to read the words, and I'm noticing Mrs. McNosh, and she has a washboard, and that looks like a box of laundry soap. And I see the basket of laundry behind her and a bird flying. Looks like a nice day. Oh, look at all the bubbles coming. It must be from the soap. Each Monday at dawn, Mrs. Nellie McNosh brings out a barrel and does a big wash. Look at all the clothes she's hanging up. It takes her all morning, and when the sun's high, she hangs what she's washed on the clothesline to dry. Did you hear a rhyming word? High, dry. Yeah, good job. She hangs up the dresses, she hangs up the shirts, she hangs up the underwear, nightgowns, and skirts. all part of the laundry. Wait a second. Did you say shirts? Skirts? She hangs up the stockings. She hangs up the shoes. She wrings out the paper and hangs up the news. I'm wondering, I'm thinking about paper and what happens to it when it gets wet. That seems a little silly. Uh-oh. She hangs up the dog and his dish and his bone. She gets a wrong number and hangs up the phone. Phone. I hope she didn't wash the phone. That's never a good idea. Look at all these boxes of soap. I wonder if she's planning to wash a lot more. Even the bird. See the bird up there? Look what he's doing with his wing. Like scratching his head, wondering, What is she doing? That poor dog. See the drips? Yeah, it looks like she washed him too. I've given my dog a bath, but that's not how we dry her. Uh-oh, what is happening? She hangs up a hat and an old wedding gown and 2 sleepy bats, which she hangs upside down. Oh, did you hear rhyming words? Gown, down. You heard the other one too? Hat, bat. And you might already know that bats do sleep upside down. So that's probably why she hung them up that way. She's so silly. What now? She hangs up a lamp and a large Christmas wreath and Grandpa McNosh's removable teeth. Wreath, teeth. What do you think she might hang up next? Oh, it looks like the mail carrier. He's running away, but there's lots of letters flying behind him. She hangs up a kite by the tip of its tail. The postman arrives, and she hangs up the mail. Tail, mail. Good job. This little piece of the kite that flies off the end, that's called a tail. She has the kite hanging upside down. And a postman is another name for a mail carrier. Oh my goodness. She hangs till she's hung. Every last thing in sight, including the turkey she's roasting that night. Sight, night, things you see, sight, night. Each Monday by dusk, Mrs. Nellie McNosh has finally hung up the last of her wash. I don't know if she has any more room. There's the turkey that she's going to roast that night. I also see a rake, and that's an old-fashioned vacuum. This is an ironing board, and she even hung up a garbage can. Oh, this pink is the tube for the vacuum. Wait a second. What is she doing? Oh wait, there's the bucket. Some bubbles? The bird is washing himself in there. He better be careful. She takes off her apron and lets down her hair, then hangs herself up. Oh, wait a second. There's the box of soap and the washboard. She takes off her apron and lets down her hair, then hangs herself up in a comfortable chair. The end. My goodness, that is silly. First of all, how did the chair stay up on that line? That must have been really heavy. Well, this story is a fiction story. Some stories are fiction, which means they're fake. They're just made up and the author used their imagination to create the story. So sometimes silly things happen in fiction stories. A non-fiction book would mean it's not fake. Those are real books. So when we read stories about or books about animals or space and we learn about different things, those books that teach us things, those are non-fiction books. But fiction books, those are stories where sometimes the author used their imagination and it can be silly and things that wouldn't really happen in real life. You could hang up your wash, but I don't know that you could hang up a chair. Did you catch what rhymed with chair? Chair. Hair. Yeah, chair, hair. Can you think of any other words that rhyme with chair? A bear. Did you say bear? And a bear can scare. Maybe a bear would scare a hare. Remember, hare is another name for a rabbit. Friends, I hope you enjoyed this story. And great job catching the rhyming words. And maybe you can find some other rhyming words throughout your day. Thanks for reading with me. I'll see you next time. Bye, friends.